What's going on, hustlers across the nation? This is the Gig Accountant. My name is Naz, and I'm a licensed CPA in the state of New Jersey. I'm also a accountant within a Fortune 500 company. And in today's video, I want to talk about office politics, brand management, and how important it is in advancing your career. And I'm here to tell you that it is incredibly important. It is probably one of the most important aspects beyond just being competent in determining your career advancement. So, and this is something that I've had to learn the hard way. I thought that meritocracy was the prevailing aspect determining your career advancement, how far you move within an organization. And I found out that education, professional development, and advancing your skill sets, that ranks very low in factors determining your career advancement. So I went ahead and earned my MBA, earned my CPA license, and earned a host of other designations and certifications, thinking that all these things would help improve my career because it would show how hardworking I am, how knowledgeable I am, how intelligent I am. Unfortunately, it did none of these. It had very little or no factor to play in advancing my career. So I came to the realization that the most important factor, or one of the most important factors to take that next step, was office politics and personal brand management. So the unfortunate truth also is that some folks will have an easier time working the office politics than others. You can be doing everything within your power to advance your position within the political hierarchy, advance your brand, advance your reputation. But you'll be seeing folks who do very little comparatively to yourself, but they have no problem with meeting folks and folks being receptive to them. And unfortunately, there are some constraining factors outside of your control. This includes personal physical appearance. Are you tall? Do you look like someone who commands authority? Do you have a baby face? These are all factors that are important determining how folks receive you. What's your personal background? Your life experience? These are other factors that will determine how folks engage you and how the connection that they feel with you. But that said, it's important to focus on the factors that are within your control, because you can always just be complaining about things that are outside of your control and use that as excuses. And they are very valid excuses. I'm going to give you that. They are valid excuses, but you need to focus on what is in your control, because it can drive you crazy. You can't be paralyzed based on what's outside your control. So work what is in your control. So things that you can do to work your position within the political hierarchy to improve your personal brand, your reputation within an organization. When you start a new job, gather the names of folks you are going to be, the individuals and groups that you are going to be engaging most and gather these individuals from your team, from your manager. Get who is going to be sending you reports, get who you are going to be sending reports to, and give them a call. Introduce yourself, communicate to them what is going to be your responsibilities, tell them that you're going to be sending them these reports, ask them if they still need the reports, ask them what they use these reports for, and also ask folks who are going to be sending reports if they can graciously continue to send you reports. Doing this will, on the outset, will set you up for success in establishing yourself, establishing your footprint within your organization. Take on projects outside your normal scope of work, and this also depends on whether your management, your team, is going to be in favor of allowing you to do this. So assuming that they are, do this. This is going to expand the individuals that you are engaging, who you are connecting with on a day-to-day basis. Projects can be work projects, and they could be other non-work projects. For instance, affinity groups, diversity inclusion groups. This gives you an opportunity to meet folks outside your normal little area throughout the company that you may not meet. And if an opportunity later becomes available within their team, you can give them a call, ask them if they can give you a little bit of background, and they may even put in a good word for you. So those are things that you can do that are within your power. Come into meetings prepared to speak and speak out. Don't be afraid and don't be paralyzed by fear. Go ahead and raise your hand, say a question, make a comment. A lot of folks I find are afraid to say anything because they fear failure. But a good quote, a good mantra that I subscribe to is, if you never fail, you don't take enough risks. So don't be afraid to fail, as long as the failure is not something that you repeat consistently, that you fail once and then don't repeat that same failure. So if that's something that you do, folks are not going to usually hold that against you. But your mileage is going to differ based on your team. If you're in a team who doesn't have a lot of influence, that don't have a lot of network, who don't value those things, who are not promoting you or trying to lift you up, leave that team. Try to seek out other team or another company to work with, because that's going to be a limiting factor that's outside of your control. And the way you can tell if this is one of your teams, a team who doesn't value these things, advancing professional advancement, professional development, advancing you, they don't promote you, they don't speak for you. Something that you can tell is if they've been in their same role for 10 plus years. If they've been in the same role, they've stagnated, they're not moving. And that probably tells you that they're not valuing professional development, they're not valuing networking. They probably don't have a influential network themselves. And that's one more thing. When you apply within an organization, a lot of other managers will engage your team, your manager, if they're interested, to ask, okay, what do you think about this individual? If your manager is not seeing you favorably, or does not want to advance you, does not want to lift you up, they're not going to give a good recommendation. And that's going to be a huge, incredibly large limiting factor in your career advancement. So, and if that's the case, you might not even be able to move internally. You might have to move externally, move to a different company. So this is something to keep in mind. That pretty much wraps up what I got to say about the subject. So guys, keep in mind, your brand, your reputation, your position within the political hierarchy is probably one of the most important factors determining your advancement within an organization. Do what you can in order to advance your position, your reputation, your brand. And if things are not working out, it's time to move on to another team, unless you're okay with just remaining in the same position. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you're making good money, you're making a comfortable living, and you're comfortable with where you're at, there's nothing wrong with that. You can just stay there. But if the position is not giving you a fair wage, it's not allowing you to have the lifestyle that you wish for, then it's time to go. All right, guys, so this is all I got to say for this video. If you like the content, feel free to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. All right, guys, have a good one. Good luck out there. Happy hustling.